Hello and welcome to another edition of Stand Out in 60 Seconds, a weekly conversation on the topic, how to stand out. It's not about being louder or busier, it's about being recognizable in moments that matter. Every Wednesday at 3, we take up one lever of standing out and unpack it with an expert. One idea, 20 minutes, something you and I can actually put to use immediately. We have covered image ideas, positioning, customer stories, game mechanics, skilling hesitation, segmentation, touchpoints, automation. And today we have a storyteller with us. We're joined by Vijay Kakwani, a storyteller I've been fortunate to know for the last 5 years. He makes storytelling clear, actionable, effective for real professional situations. I'm still in awe, having heard him less than about 3 months ago at an event in Goa. And he held the entire 200 strong audience, myself included, in absolute captivity, not just physically, but also the way he drew us into the nooks and crannies of the world. But he is also a data storyteller for professionals, and we are going to be covering a whole lot. Welcome, Vijay.
Hi, Praveen. Such a joy to connect with you always. It's a pleasure.
Yes, and it's a 2 month hunt that we finally met each other on.
Yeah, we were missing each other over the last 2 months. You were stuck, I was stuck.
Beautiful. So here's the first question for you. In a boardroom full of smart people, why
Hmm.
does one presentation shift the room while 10 others evaporate? People start snoozing. What is behind that one presentation shift, Vijay?
I'll take this in two directions. One is since 9 out of 10 presentations get forgotten, so maybe there is more evidence available in what doesn't work in those presentations, which are bad. And the
Yes.
second thing is who are we trying to connect to, which is the audience. So let's try and understand it from the perspective of the audience and what doesn't connect with the audience. Like, for
Right.
example, if I look at it as an audience myself, or maybe if you attended some sessions, uh, things that don't connect are either one of these three: either they are boring, or they are very complex,
Right.
or they're not relevant to my world. They are talking, like, for example, if somebody is talking very difficult IT stuff in front of me, I will zone out, however interesting it might be. So it's either boring, complex, or not relevant to me. So the
Yes.
opposite of this is what makes it click, which is making it interesting, making it simple, and making it relevant to the audience.
Oh,
I mean, there's a very so. In fact, I somehow, the more I'm going deeper into storytelling, I'm realizing that these are three tenets of storytelling, and this learning goes back to when I was in 12th, actually.
right.
Uh, we had a chemistry teacher. Now that I look back, now that I know the word storytelling and what it means, he is probably the best storyteller. Forget 1 out of 10 presenters. Out of hundreds of teachers, I remember him the most. And I now, when I look back at, he was so powerful at all these three things in storytelling. Like, old man, unkempt beard, disheveled hair. He would walk in with a jhola. He would never bother about how he looks. Like you take a lot of care about how you look. With he would
I do.
never care about how he looks. He would just walk into the room with his jhola, and he'll keep the jhola before he speaks the word. The students are dead focused on what he's going to say. So he will start with something like, "Today, guys, we will learn the Dharmendra Hema Malini reaction, or the Amitabh Bachchan Rekha reaction." So he had given names to all of these things. Like, for example, H2O for him was Hariom reaction. So he had these funny. So that made it very engaging for us. Then he would take out from his jhola, he would take out cubes, and he would take out some pyramids, and he would take out some balls, TT balls, some tennis balls, or some lawn tennis balls, and then he will explain experiments with the help of the, this is this element,
Wow.
and this is this element. So now this is what it made simple for us.
Yes.
So the Dharmendra Hema Malini, all of that made it interesting. This made it simple for us. And the in the end, he did something which was so powerful. Now that I look back, is once all of this has ended. is when he will talk about the relevance. Like, for example, he literally point to something in the room and say, for example, this door handle. This
Ah,
contains steel. This is the formula. And now, oh, now I can connect that chemistry has a connection to my world. So I mean, I learned. I mean, when I go back, he was probably the best storyteller I've ever
wow.
encountered. Interesting, simple, and relevant.
Ah, brilliant, brilliant, and has remained in your memory for such a long time. That leads
Oh
me
yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah,
next,
yeah.
yeah, leads me to the next question, Vijay. And this is more so because you are a storyteller teaching corporate leaders how to tell stories with data or for their leadership team. When leaders say, hey, listen, Vijay, I'm not a storyteller, what are they actually avoiding?
This is something that I get a lot actually. And I mean, if I had my way, I would shout from the roofs of buildings that trust me, you are a storyteller, because everybody, every damn, and I am not saying this just because I'm a storytelling coach. I mean, everybody would wonder, saying, ah, storytelling coach hai, to bolega ke everybody is a
Um,
storyteller.
uh,
So I think the thing that people are avoiding when they say I am not a storyteller is two things. One is they somehow have this notion that storytelling is a very distant, dramatic thing which belongs only to performers or writers or authors. And no, 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 I am not one of them. That's one. The second thing, which is more deeper, is probably they've not looked at their life closely enough. Because I mean, I have some people that I mentor one to one. There's a CHRO, there's a venture capitalist on storytelling, and within half an hour, this
uh-huh.
is last week, a person who says I am not a storyteller, within half an hour we pulled out 10 incidents from his life which have all the material to become brilliant stories. It's
Right,
just that since he is living that life, he has not watched it closely enough that, oh my god. And again, the same thing, that storytelling is something that belongs to performers. We
right,
assume our life is boring, but no, that's not the case. Storytelling has just one basic ingredient,
right,
uh, or rather two. One is change, and the second is the technique to tell it.
right.
Change we've all had. I mean, we were little kids and now we are sitting here. We've gone through, I'm assuming, 10,000 changes in our life.
Yeah, yeah.
So all you need is remember a change and a technique to tell it, and it can be told beautifully. I mean, unfortunately, we have very little time today. Otherwise, we would have gone
Yeah.
to details of that.
Oh,
So I
Vijay,
think this is what they are avoiding.
this entire series is a teaser, so that impacts people and they come straight up to you saying, oh, coach me, tell me, I really need to. uh,
And
but
that's
that
always a
leads
pleasure.
that leads me to the next question. That one of the other things I'm sure you will find, I find it this question put forth quite a bit, that yeah, I'm a serious business, storytelling, and isn't it all gimmickry? Does it risk reducing my credibility in a serious business setting? Have you, I'm sure, faced this, and what is your answer
Yeah.
to it, to such
Uh,
leaders?
this is something that again, this is something that you hear all the time, and in a way, this connects to the previous question also, because this doubt of losing credibility is because there is this notion saying storytelling is entertainment. So it's a serious business
Oh,
meeting. So, oh,
right,
who am I to? I'm not an entertainer. This is a serious stuff. So that's one big that's one big wrong notion about storytelling, that it's entertainment. Uh, Maybe the right way to answer this would be to take an example from somebody who's a big corporate storyteller, somebody that we all admire.
right,
Uh, okay, I think I can connect it to the previous example of my chemistry teacher, Mr. Jain,
right,
also.
right,
So I spoke. He used to have three tenets: make it engaging, make it simple, and make it relevant.
hmm,
Uh, if we have seen any of Steve Jobs' videos, nobody would argue that he was a casual. Nobody
haha,
would say that he was a casual guy. No, no, no. He was leading one of the world's biggest organizations, tech firms. I mean, so many innovations. If we see maybe just one of his videos, one in particular that comes to my mind is when this iPod Mini was launched.
Right.
He walks up to stage and there's a camera focusing on him, and then it zooms in on his denim pocket, his jeans pocket, and he straight away starts off the conversation saying, I know this is the pocket where we keep our purse. And then he points to the coin pocket. And he says, ever wondered what this pocket is for? Yeah, we say it's coins, but we rarely keep coins over here.
Yeah.
Ever wondered what it's for? So now, if you notice very subtly, he has asked you a question and he has engaged you in that moment, because now, even though you can't respond to him in person, mentally you're doing two things. Either you're trying to answer this question and you're waiting for him to tell the answer so that you know whether you
Mm.
are right or not. So he's basically gripped you in that moment. And then he pulls out an iPod Mini from that pocket saying, now you know. He made it engaging.
Right.
The second thing is making it simple. That was the slimmest iPod ever, the iPod
Yeah.
Mini.
Yeah.
He's a technology guy. He deals in numbers, he deals in data, he deals in spreadsheets, profit and loss. But when it comes to the launch, he could have simply said that this is maybe 4 mm thick or 5 mm thick. Oh, no, no, no. He doesn't do that. A pencil comes up on the screen, a pencil, a basic pencil. And
Right.
he says, this is a number 2 pencil. And then the pencil shifts. Behind it was hidden the iPod. And he says, our iPod is slimmer than a number 2 pencil.
Ah.
So rather than saying 4 mm, he made it simple that, okay, now everybody in the audience has seen a pencil. Now this, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The third thing is relevant.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, cool, simple. But how does it connect to me? He then goes away and says that imagine you're biking, imagine you're jogging, imagine you're going on a trip. Can you carry your CD player? No, you can't. This you can.
Right.
So now it is relevant to me also, because, yeah,
Yes.
I can see myself using this. So if you just notice, by just following these three tenets and storytelling, did he lose credibility or did he increase authority?
Ah, brilliant. Of course, Steve Jobs can do it. How can I do it? But that will save for another day. But at the same
Well,
line,
it's a technique that can be learned. It's a technique that can be learned.
oh, I love the Apple presentations. I was a sucker for the Mini Pro Pod as well, which I had for a
Yeah,
long
yeah, yeah.
time. And the entire thing is sequence, story, screenplay, direction, timing. Everything is so perfect.
True, true, true.
Right? You are a corporate storyteller and you help translate data into stories. Vijay, is there any structural difference between just reporting data or shaping into a narrative, a decision narrative, or the like?
Uh, Data presentations. In fact, when I teach storytelling in corporates, we literally pick up movie structures. That's how the
Ah,
workshop. That's how data structuring starts. Saying there'll be a screen in which there'll be a Lagan, a Harry Potter, and a Sherlock Holmes, and then there'll be a discussion which will come up saying pick up whichever movie you want to discuss, and then we see the movie structure, and then we see how the data presentation very similar to this. Like
mhm.
I'll give an example. But your question was that what's the difference between reporting data and shaping it into a decision narrative?
Right.
Reporting data is, see, eventually what is data doing? Data is finding things, diving deep into data, collecting
Right.
insights, identifying patterns, reaching decisions that, oh, what can shift shift our department or our
Right.
performance better. So if you look at it, in a way, it's like a detective diving into a world of clues and
Hmm.
coming up with an insight saying, oh, now I found the clue, and finally, this is the action plan, or this is the killer, or this is the. So, reporting data is like a detective walking into a room and either throwing all the clues around
Yeah.
and declaring this is the killer. It'll take a lot of time for people to trust him because they don't have time to put all the clues together.
Right.
And people will doubt him because, I mean, just because you're saying this is the killer, how do I trust that this is the killer?
Yeah.
Structuring it into a narrative is like the same detective walking into the room with all the clues and saying, this is clue one. This led me to clue two. This led me to clue 3.
Ah,
And these 3 connect to this guy, and this guy is the killer. Now I trust you. Now I remember it. This is in a way a corollary between when we simply report data, we are just throwing away chunks of it, which no logical sequence of how they are connecting, which is why we end up losing the audience midway. But when we structure it like this, like a movie, this happened, then this happened, then this happened,
right.
story structure, it the audience retains it, and they are able to connect with what we are trying to say also.
So do your sessions also have item dance included in your
There is a Damaru definitely involved in that. That's how most session
Ah,
starts. This this uh, this is what we play in all
oh,
the corporate workshop. This is how it starts. But
nice.
yeah, it's serious business. It just starts in this way to grab attention, and then it's very serious corporate business.
Right. Continuing the movie theme, from Teen Guna Lagan to Mini Guna Lagan, that is required for a corporate leader today who chooses to remain invisible. What can a corporate leader do? What should a leader do to be more visible through storytelling, Vijay?
So, in a way, the answer lies in what we were discussing just now. These 3 tenets are like the basic
Yes.
of make it engaging, make it simple, make it relevant for the audience. But the biggest thing I would say over here is the relevance part or the connection part. Like, for example, like data storytelling, if we talk about. I was conducting a workshop for this organization called Clifford Chance. It's one of the world's top 5 legal firms, and it has a massive backend office in Gurgaon. Very senior leaders, technically very brilliant, all finance guys, hardcore finance guys. Nobody would be able to put a finger on any error in their work. But when they are communicating with people, the core essence of storytelling is, who are you telling the story to? Simple for whom? Interesting for whom? Relevant for whom? They forget this and they go in the direction of technical jargons, terms that people don't use.
Right.
It's almost like, so I, in fact, I remember this workshop where there was this very senior guy. He's a GM finance, and I told him, imagine next time whenever you're going for a presentation to a large crowd, imagine you're sitting in the audience as a finance guy,
Mhm.
and there's a presentation being given by somebody who's a hardcore legal professional and he's using only hardcore legal terms. How will you feel?
Right.
Imagine this is how your audience feels. So connect it to how it connects to their world, because behind every number
Mhm.
is a process or a person which eventually solves problems for a human. We forget that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we discuss our performance improved from 80% to 90%. Maybe if we talk a little about when this performance improved, an X person, her name was Sushila, for example, this is how her life changed. Now this is visible. This is not abstract now.
Right.
Maybe this is the essence of it, that leaders go into abstract a lot. It needs to be relatable and concrete and real world.
Brilliant. Brilliant. There's also this constant worry that are people misusing storytelling in a corporate environment? Is it being used for manipulation rather than providing clarity? Vijay, what are your thoughts around this?
uh, it does get misused, but uh, so this is where like this is another thing I'll pick up from the workshop that we conduct in corporate. In fact, this is the first lesson that we cover in our corporate workshop.
Right.
Is there's an actual experiment which was done. We'll not go into that, about the
Right.
power of storytelling, which is the significant objects experiment, wherein they had picked up daily items and they tried to sell it using the power of stories. This experiment, anybody can just Google it. Significant
Right.
objects experiment. But so basic. So I put up on screen an element, a half-eaten apple, a wooden half-eaten apple, and there's a question to the room saying, how much can you sell it for? This is like the bang start of the workshop.
Right.
There's no word which has been spoken till now. It's just the screen. How much can you sell it for? And then there's a price to it, the chocolates. That's another thing which I realized in my workshop, that however senior people they might be CEOs, but when it comes to playing games and earning chocolates, they become they become like a kid. So everybody is now wanting to sell it for the highest price. And then let's say somebody comes up saying, "Oh, I can sell it for 10 lakh rupees." Oh, how will you sell it? Oh, I'll tell people that this belonged to Shah Jahan, or this is an antique piece. And that's where the first lesson comes, saying the first essence of storytelling is thou shalt not cheat.
Okay.
Because this is one place where storytelling is, the word story has a connotation saying कहानी सुना रहा है, जा कहानी मत
Right.
सुना, अरे तू बहुत कहानी सुनाता है. No, storytelling in the corporate context is 100% truth, 100% facts. Yes, you can embellish the good and you can downplay the bad, but willful omission, lying, this is where I think people, it's almost like a magician learning a new trick,
Ah,
but the ethics of it lie in the storyteller.
beautiful.
So,
Very
so
nicely put.
people
Yeah.
use it. I mean, yeah, they know that storytelling is powerful, and then they, at times I've seen people using it for lies, but yeah, that's not that's cheating. Yeah, that's not storytelling.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Clear, black and white. There's no gray. Finishing off with one final question here. If someone wants to stand out in 2026 through storytelling slash corporate storytelling, what is the one structural shift they would need to make in how they communicate?
Hmm. The answer to this, because this is something that in fact I've come across. Almost, I myself was suffering from this long back. I have seen almost every leader suffer from this. There are three parts to a movie: a beginning, a middle, and an end. Why do
Right.
we watch the movie for? What do you think? Is it a beginning, middle, or end? A quick
Good
one.
point. I look at everything together, but the ending is what is going to be key.
Ah,
Uh,
great. In a way, good that you answered this, because this is what
yeah.
the answer normally comes up.
Ah,
And then the second question which comes up is, before going into a love story, you knew the boy is going to get the girl.
right.
Before going into this Marvel movie or this Iron Man movie, you knew Iron Man is going to defeat
Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Before going into a detective movie, you knew this guy is going to solve the case.
Right.
Are we actually watching movies for the end? Or
Ah,
are we watching for how did the boy fall in love with the girl?
right. Absolutely.
How did it happen? And this is the biggest mistake which most leaders do, is when they talk about their achievements. So they forget the middle.
Right.
The middle is the meat of the story, which talks about your growth, your learning, how you have changed as an individual. Most leaders enter their stories like heroes. But now this is one thing that has stayed with me. It was one of those morning journaling when this sentence had come up, and this sentence had
Right.
become like my essence of storytelling is, a story never belongs to a hero. A story belongs to the protagonist who becomes the hero.
Beautiful.
So they enter their stories like hero, that I am a rock star, we did this and the world changed. No, no, no. Talk about the challenges and the learnings you went through, initial struggles, doubts, how did you overcome them? Because that is what connects with people. Because when you enter the story like a hero, first is the story is boring. Imagine a story where Superman is the hero, he came in the first scene, he killed the villain. There's a love story in the first scene, the boy liked the girl liked the
Yeah.
boy, and they vanished. No, you will hate that story. The second thing is, when they tell the middle is when it connects to people, because people, when they're looking at a hero, oh, he's a rock star, I am not. But when he talks about his challenges, oh yeah, na, I also face these challenges, I can also
Ah,
change. So I think they forget the change and the challenge and the struggle part of it. They straight away enter their stories as heroes.
ah,
They should enter like protagonists who become the hero and the through the journey.
beautiful. Beautiful, Vijay. I've also been busy taking some notes because for me, one of the aspects is I learn from every expert, and you put a brilliant part to it. I'm just going to summarize it. Find out what doesn't work, eliminate it, figure out the target group, who is the story for, eliminate boring, complex, not relevant. Look at your own life closely enough. In half an hour, you may
Oh
find
yeah.
10 stories. Um, Focus on, if I'm looking for my story, look at all the change points and find a technique to tell it. Relevance, relatability, and visibility is what you would need to look at. Don't just tell, involve the people. Thou shalt not cheat, one clear
Oh,
lesson.
absolutely, absolutely.
And a story belongs to the protagonist who becomes a hero. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, Vijay. We've got a whole bunch of people, Lokesh, Leo,
My
Sanjeev, and
pleasure.
all of them who put their comments in as well. But golden nuggets in 20, 25 minutes. Thank you, Vijay, the corporate data storyteller. And folks listening in, he is based in Noida, but is a citizen of the world. So go ahead and talk to him. If you want expansion into some of these aspects, he's, of course, a professional storyteller. So if any of you want to invite him to your corporate gigs, right after this, you will find his contact details. And he is quite active on LinkedIn. But Vijay, thank you very much once again.
My pleasure, Praveen. And I'm glad, so glad we could finally make it happen.
Yes. And thanks to the audience that tunes in every week. And of course, the long tail because you watch it over the weekend and get back. So thank you very much, everybody.